Well, welcome back. And for those who are just joining us, welcome to the 51st annual meeting of the National Academy of Medicine. I thank you all so much for attending. Every October, we hold this meeting. It is the gathering of our distinguished members and the most important meeting of the year for the organization. Today's program, Crossing the Policy and Equity Chasm, Lessons Learned from Compounding Health Crisis, promised to be most stimulating and impactful. Just listening to a title and you know that this is going to be really important subjects that we need to discuss and really address to a large extent. So first, I must thank our program planning committee chaired by Sue Curry, who's done a great job. And it's comprised of a group of volunteer experts, Karen DeSalvo, Paula Hammond, Peter Hotez, Ashish Jha, Maureen Lichtfeld, Jonathan Pat, and Cricket Simon. So Sue, thank you. And planning member committees, thank you for all your hard work. I know it's going to be a great meeting. You may have heard me mention during the press report this morning that the challenges we're facing today are global, complex, and widespread, and interconnected. Since last year's annual meeting was named Confronting Urgent Threats to Human Health and Society, we continue to face the persistent existential threats and inequities of COVID-19 and climate change. So during today's program, you'll hear about the opportunities, gaps, and challenges, as well as the vital importance of advancing evidence-based policy to address the compounding health threats. Now more than ever, we need to communicate with the public about the value of science and medicine to inform decisions that impact people's everyday lives, and the power of science and medicine to create a better world, and not just for a few, but for everyone. We will use this same live stream all day, which can be accessed on our website, nam.edu. On the website, you'll find today's program, speaker bios, and disclosure statements, and information about planning committee and other relevant background. I encourage you to take a look. And in addition, the meeting's being live tweeted on Twitter using the hashtag NAMmeeting, spelled MTG meeting. Please join the conversation. So now I'd like to welcome the chair of the NAM Annual Meeting Planning Committee, Dr. Susan Curry, who introduced the program and keynote speaker. I think I'm going to introduce the keynote speaker. Sorry, Susan. A slight change in plan. Dr. Curry is Emerita Dean and Distinguished Professor of Health and Management and Policy at the University of Iowa. She's also a member of the NAM Council. So please join me in welcoming Sue.
Oh, well, let me welcome you as well to our 51st annual meeting and the 2021 annual meeting scientific program, Crossing the Policy and Equity Chasm, Lessons from Compounding Health Crises. I want to add my thanks to the 2021 annual meeting planning committee and also to the amazing staff, NAM staff, for their guidance and really valuable contributions to developing the scientific program and working to organize this virtual meeting. As Dr. Dzau mentioned, the Program Planning Committee developed the program today, which covers similar topics to last year. As we all know, the existential health threats and inequities of COVID-19 and climate change persist. So similar to the IOM-NAM seminal report, Crossing the Quality Chasm, our program today focuses on the question of how do we cross the policy and equity chasm. The Quality Chasm report made an urgent call for a sweeping redesign of the healthcare system and provided evidence-based guidance for healthcare policy transformation. Many of the principles in that report are relevant today. Now, today's program centers on the importance of science-informed policy for addressing compounding health crises. With COVID-19 and climate change, well, COVID-19 and climate change present somewhat different challenges. So for COVID-19, there has been the imperative to create policy in the presence of a rapidly evolving evidence base. For climate change, policy has lagged a well-established science base. But in both instances, there is a clear gap between what we know and what we do. And in both instances, a key question is, how do we build the bridge between science and policy and do so in a way that reduces health inequities? We have 3 panels during the scientific program today, in addition to special closing remarks from Secretary Xavier Becerra of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and that will be followed by the President's Forum, the role of the National Academy of Medicine and the health sector in addressing the climate crisis. We are really excited to feature 12 outstanding panelists today who will be speaking on disruption, construction, and learning from COVID-19 in panel 1, and that will be moderated by Carl Zimmer of the New York Times. Toward actionable policy in climate change and human health in panel 2, to be moderated by Laura Helmuth of Scientific American. And in panel 3, lessons learned from compounding health crises, to be moderated by Alan Weil of Health Affairs. We will hear from diverse perspectives spanning disciplines such as infectious disease and bioethics, to environmental planning and environmental health, to communication and public health. Each panel will have approximately 15 minutes at the end of the session for an audience question and answer period. We encourage you to ask questions using the Q&A tool under the live stream. The program will be recorded and posted on the NAM website later this month. I'm a little bit early, but I'm going to turn the program back to Dr. Dzau, who will introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Eric Lander. And Dr. Dzau and Dr. Lander will be in a fireside chat for this exciting kickoff to the scientific program.